My question, I'm the driver's executive board officer, so naturally I'm going to speak up for my drivers. Now, the company proposed a 6-year contract for the drivers with no increase in wages. My people have had another 6 years behind them with no raises. They've lost 40% of their earnings. The cost of living is continuing to go up. It's not improving. Mr. Curry said he wants a better quality employee. He wants quality service provided to the passengers. Then we need a pay raise.
Let me comment about that, and then let me just outline. It's a serious question. I take it dead serious. Let me comment about it first, and then let me make some very explicit examples. First, let me say that what we can't do together, and I literally mean that together, what we can't do together is agree to wage packages that would reinstitute the disillusionment of this business, the dissolving of this business, the unwinding of this business, to make any of us feel good over the short term. We can't and we won't prejudice the security of the jobs of the people that have been earned with so much hard work over the past 2 years. On the other hand, we have many pressing needs, and we must address a lot of those needs. Let me describe to you the ways in which the offer that we made to the Greyhound Council last Thursday afternoon, I believe it was, addresses some of those needs. Not all of them, but some of them. Let me also say that this package encompasses more than the entire earnings of the company for the year 1989. And hopefully, as you will see in a moment, encompasses a substantial percentage of the future profits of the company as we go forward. That package begins with the fact that we have a 30-cent base rate, which we are proposing to move to a 32.5-cent base rate, provided, however, to earn the 32.5-cent base rate, the driver would have to have a clean driving record from 3/1/89 to 3/1/90, when the 32.5-cent rate would go into effect. Now, if the driver had a fault accident between 3/1/89 and 3/1/90, the driver could then earn into the 32.5-cent base rate by driving safe miles and earning into that base rate in 20,000-mile increments, so that the full 2.5 cents would be earned when the driver had 80,000 miles of safe driving. Conversely, if a driver had a fault accident, and this is either a personal accident in the process of performing one's duty, that is, a personal injury to oneself or an injury to the vehicle, then the rate would drop back to 30 and the driver would have to earn back in at the 32, because the real truth of the economics of our business are that people who do their work safely and people who drive safely earn more money for the company. They are more productive, so we can afford to pay them more. Second point, charter bus drivers. One of the things that you've brought to us is that when you come in for charter work and get a short piece of work, that it makes for a very long day with not much pay. So we propose for charter bus drivers a 6-hour minimum pay. So if you come to work, then it is a 6-hour minimum. Another problem you have brought to us are the progressive rates of pay. As you know, 10 plus earn 30. 5 to 10 earn 27 and a half. 1 to 5 earns 25, and for the first year it's 24. And you have said to us that, gee whiz, after 2 or 3 years, I feel as if, as a new driver, I'm as experienced as, I am as qualified as I am going to be at this job, and I've learned how to wear my uniform, I've learned how to greet the customers, I've learned how to operate the coach. What is this with this period of time of progressivity? We therefore have proposed a fundamental change in the way progressivity works. Specifically, we propose that we establish 4 groups. Now, I'm going to give you the number of drivers that are in each of these groups right now. There are about 4,200 drivers nationwide in this 10-plus group. There is about 700 nationwide in this 5 to 10, and there's about 1,000 out here in the 1 to 5 group. Now, what is proposed is that each time a person moves out of this group, one person moves out, that would leave 4,199. One of these 700 move over here, irrespective of how many years the person has. And further, one of the 1 to 5, the most senior obviously, would move over here to this 5 to 10 group. So that when 1,000 people will have moved out of this group, and I'll discuss that movement in just a moment and how we facilitate that movement. When 1,000 people will have moved out of that group, all 700 of these will have moved over to here, and 700 of this 1,000 will have moved over here. Well, take that back. 300 of this 1,000 will have moved all the way over here, and with this 700 to make up for that 1,000, and 700 will be here of this 1,000, and there would be new people in these 2 categories in order to take their place, presuming we're operating the same number of miles and the same number of charter trips. Next point. We hear from many senior drivers from time to time that, look, I feel as if I'm handcuffed to the job by the terms of that pension plan, and I don't like it. The economic circumstances have changed in the business. Sure, the whole team is trying to do the best to rebuild the business, but it's a different business than the one I came to work for. Anybody in here ever heard that? I've heard that plenty. It is not our desire or our intent to hold people into a job against their will because of the terms of the pension plan. So we propose that people between age 45 and age 55 can use a window of opportunity that would last 30 days to determine to retire, and should they accept that window of opportunity, they would receive their full pension at age 60 as if they had earned out their time with the company to earn that pension. So in other words, they can retire with no penalty and take their pension at age 60. Now, on the other hand, every organization needs its seniors, and we are absolutely no different. So this item I just mentioned was for people that feel as if they're handcuffed. But there are other people that, I'll talked to one just a minute ago, Mr. Holloway. He's 10 years older than I am, and he figures he's in a hell of a lot better shape than I am, and I believe he is after talking to him. There are many people that are our seniors that we very definitely need, and every organization needs its seniors that wish to continue to be a part of it. And a lot of seniors say to me, look, I don't want to retire. I want to work until I've achieved 35 years of safe driving, or I want to achieve this goal, or my spouse is not retired yet. He or she is teaching school, and I wish to stay in the job because I don't know what I'd do at home if I went home alone, sort of proposition. So there are lots of us that have various circumstances like that, and we wish to encourage those people to stick around. We really need them. We need you badly. So we would propose lowering the retirement age from 65 to 62, but we would say two things. If you work until 62, then we would provide within the pension arrangement $130 more a month for 3 years as an incentive for you to work until 62. But if you work until 65, we would provide either the $130 for 3 years or $65 for life. Another issue that we would propose has to do with seniority. Seniority, it is proposed in the seniority arena that we fully dovetail the Trailways people. It is time for us to put that issue entirely behind us. And we believe that those people that brought the miles and brought the work and have long experience in the business have every right to participate in the business. And we have believed that for 3 years. We haven't changed our minds. So we're proposing that. However, we recognize that that dovetailing of seniority may have the impact at some of our locations of displacing some people from regular runs or senior hold-down positions on the extra board. And we would seek to address that by establishing a $1 million fund which would be paid out in $5,000 increments to those people in a fashion that would either help them with their retirement should they choose to leave, or on the other hand, help them with their moving costs if they wanted to move to another board location where their position on a different board would be different. I should have referred back here in this scenario, back here at the base regular route rate per mile. I said to you in my prepared remarks that our goal was to increase passenger revenue by 5% a year. And I said that converted to an average of 1 passenger traveling on every bus, on every route, 365 days a year, and I said that was achievable because we had been moving we sort of stuttered there in '87, but we've been moving our load factor up, and let me tell you, we're going to keep on moving it up. We're going to keep on moving it up. Now, our 1-for-1 incentive pay would begin with a new base. We've folded in the 2.5 cents that we've achieved in it right there, so if for some reason load factors go back down as a result of an economic recession, then this 2% is not at risk. So we would move our base up to the 1989 base, which nationwide or in the Southern Company might be 21 and a half people. I'm not sure exactly what it is for the Southern Company, but let's just say, for example, it's 21. So we have a new base of 21. If we have a new base of 21, then our one-for-one incentive pay for each of the next 5 years should increase our regular route pay by a penny a year, so that our objective, our goal for 1990 would be to add 1 cent to this, or 1 cent to this, or 1 cent to this, as the case may be. And that would be our 1990 goal. And obviously for 1991, it would be 2 cents, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So as we continue to improve the business, we would expect to step up this goal just as we have since 1987, improved driver's pay as a result of the one-for-one incentive plan. Finally, our new people who have come to us since '87, Anthony mentioned 1,000 mechanics in the driver ranks nationwide. It is 29.5% of our people have come to us since 1987 nationwide, and 10% between '83 and '87, making 39% of our people who are not tied to the company with any form of pension or long-term incentive plan of putting money aside for their future retirement. In the mechanics, those percentages are even higher. That is not a condition that is favorable for those people, and it's not a condition that is favorable for our enterprise. And we can't live with it. We've got to include those high-skilled positions, driver and diesel engine mechanic. They've got to be included in and counted in for the long term. And we've got to provide for that over the long term. So we would seek to establish a profit pension plan for them. So those since '83 and '87 in the skilled positions of driver and diesel engine mechanic. Now, these issues are capped by a 15% profit sharing plan for all Greyhound employees. The first monies generated by that 15% of the profits as we go forward will go to protect these new people, because they got to be protected first before any of the rest of us participate in a profit sharing plan that already have pensions, et cetera. Because that's only right. So the first of these monies have got to go here. But as we go forward, this 15% should increase, must increase. It's got to be a profitable enterprise. We must make it a profitable enterprise. We can't survive if we don't. This 15% will be distributed to all of the Greyhound people on a pro rata basis based upon their income for the year, with a limitation in the measurement of that income, so that the maximum income that could count for any one individual would be the max W-2 income earned by the highest paid driver or the highest paid mechanic for the year in question.